depending on where you're joining us from, good afternoon or good morning. My name is Sam Pittenger. I am the VP of Sales here at Rinsed, and I'm thrilled to welcome customers, non-customers, partners, and friends of the Rinsed team to our highly anticipated retail webinar that has, believe it or not, been in the works for over 12 months. I'm going to spend just a few minutes introducing our agenda and give some context as to why we're all here today, at which point we'll kick things off. We're going to hear from 3 to 4 other members of the Rinsed team today, including Austin, our co-founder and CEO, who will give a deep dive into the why behind this new retail functionality and share a case study with us. We'll then pass the baton to Sammy, a member of our customer success team, who will demonstrate how we collect retail customer information and how we can build retail customer audiences and message them through text and email. Catherine, a member of our data team, will then walk us through our retail dashboard and show off some of the new analytics and data that are accessible for the retail side of the business. We'll have Austin walk us through building loyalty programs, and then we'll wrap up with a Q&A. I have been fortunate enough to be at Rinsed now for almost 2 years. And during that time, it's been a pleasure for our team to be able to meet with car wash owners and groups of all sizes across the country to learn about your pains, your goals, and the tools that you have access to today. As we've met with you over the last few years, we began recognizing a common theme. And the theme would generally come in the form of a question, something along the lines of this: Sam, we're excited for all the value and functionality Rinsed provides for our members, including growing our membership base, reducing churn, and providing us real-time actionable data. But what can you do for our retail customers? Or in other words, our non-members? And up until now, we didn't have a great answer. This question was becoming more and more frequent. So a year ago, our team came together and has dedicated much of our time to building out functionality that will bring solutions to 2 key questions. The first is, how can we garner more loyalty from retail customers who may never become members? How can we get them to choose us time and time again over a wash down the street? And 2, how do we convert more retail customers to members? Our incredible engineering team has been hard at work over the last 12 months at building out this much requested functionality. So with that stage set, before I hand things over to Austin, our CEO, we have one simple request for the call today. With a lot of us on this call, we anticipate many great questions. In hopes of making the best use of our time, if you have a question, please just type your question into the Zoom chat, and we will address them in the final 10 to 20 minutes of the meeting today. Thank you all for attending. Excited to jump in. Austin, the time's all yours.
Great, thanks, Sam. So I'm Austin, the co-founder and CEO here at Rinsed, the car wash CRM. Just a reminder, we're software that's built specifically for car washes, really around helping you grow your revenue. We started very much focused on membership. I think that's been really the rocket ship propelling this industry over the last 10 years. But as part of all that focus on membership, as Sam alluded to, we've continued to hear from our customers about this missing section of their customer base. And when we looked at the data, we realized just how large that section was and felt like if we could apply the same kind of tools around communicating in a personalized way at scale with your retail customer base, that we could hopefully transition a lot of them to members, but if nothing else, make them come back more frequently and increase their lifetime value as well. So that's really been our focus over the last 12 months, is expanding our car wash CRM to include your entire business. And with the hope of being able to collect information from those retail customers, segment those retail customers on things like what they're buying, how often they're coming, what locations we're seeing them at, and then message them with actionable calls to action to, again, either get them back to your wash or hopefully convert them to a member. So I want to start by sharing a case study. So like many things that we do here at Rinsed, we'll often work closely with our customers in kind of a one-off way when we're developing new technology to sort of prove out the use case and see if this is something that we should really invest in to make this something we can roll out to the whole car wash industry. So this was a 10-location car wash chain where in mid 2022, they decided to really make collecting and messaging their retail customer base a focus. So with our integrations with the point of sale hardware, in this case DRB, but Rinsed is installed at over 2,000 locations and integrates with all 5 of the top car wash point of sales. So here with DRB, we use their existing XPT in the driveway, plus Rinsed ability to go and pull data from the underlying database to make a seamless flow where retail customers were asked if they would like to leave their phone number in exchange for getting their next wash free and joining the text club. So what we saw there is just by putting this directly in the driveway and asking the retail customers, we're able to get phone numbers from about a quarter of the people who came through the wash. And those numbers added up pretty quickly. So we saw 80,000 unique phone numbers collected over the course of about 18 months. So I think that initial collection got us pretty excited, but we wanted to see what that would actually mean in terms of business results for those customers. So of those 80,000, they sent out 46,000 unique vouchers to those customers, and that was in exchange for additional information like their email addresses. And then we saw a 26% redemption rate. But I think the really exciting thing for us was when we looked back after the full 18 months had passed, we wanted to see what had those customers spent and how many of them had they been able to successfully convert to members. So we saw that 7,000 of those 80,000 had actually converted to members. And this was about 4 times as high a rate as the people who didn't give their phone number. So just by being able to communicate with those retail customers, we saw a huge uplift in the ability to eventually convert them to members. And this didn't happen instantly. We had to send on average 10 messages to those retail customers. So part of what we're talking about and what our team will explain is, how do we set up these campaigns so that we can really set it and forget it, but keep front of mind for the retail customers. So the net results here were for this 10-location chain, they received an additional 900,000 in subsequent retail revenue and an additional $1 million so far in member revenue. But they have 5,000 active members here today that started as those on their retail journey. So we expect that number to go up a lot. But I think the one takeaway that I would have from this is really that 4x increase in conversion. So of the people who we didn't collect their number, about 2% we were eventually able to convert to members just by them coming back in and having our sales attendants ask them again. But that number was almost 10% for the ones where we collected the phone number. So we're able to stay front of mind and talk to them about the values of both the express wash and eventually the membership option.
Thank you, Austin, for highlighting that case study and the power that can come from collecting retail information and ideally sending the messaging and converting them to memberships. We'll now hand things over to Sammy, a member of our customer success team, to walk us through how we're collecting information for our retail customers.
Thanks, Sam. Hi, everyone. I'm Sammy. I'm one of the customer success managers here at Rinsed. Obviously, this is a really exciting time. There's a ton of capability with retail, but most importantly is we need to really collect these phone numbers so that we can, reach out to these customers and eventually get them to convert or reward them for loyalty. So By point of sale, there's ways to set this up. So for DRB, there's a setting to turn on a function to add a note to a retail sale. And that note will contain the customer's phone number. And all you have to do is reach out to DRB to configure that, and they will get that done for you. For Sunny's, there's actually a setting in back office to turn on the ability to collect a phone number during a retail sale, actually page 98 of the back office manual. And then for ICS, MicroLogic, and Washify, we're currently working on a solution to pair license plate and retail transactions via contact forms, so that we'll be able to collect phone numbers in that way, and that will be coming soon. You will need to have LPR for that to work, and that will be available very shortly, so we can get that going for all point of sales. And then next slide, we have an example of what it would look like at the PayStation or XPT. As Austin mentioned in the case study, we exchanged a free wash for that phone number. So they would just type in their phone number, and then they'll get that free wash texted to them. They can redeem that, and then we have their contact information, so we can continue to reach out to them and communicate with them throughout their customer journey.
Perfect. Thank you, Sammy. We'll now hear from Catherine, a member of our data team, who will walk us through what our retail dashboard looks like.
Thank you, Sam. Let me share my screen. All right. So when you sign up for Rinsed, you get a collection of analytics dashboards. And a lot of these dashboards focus on your membership program. But I wanted to highlight today the dashboard that focuses on your retail program. So there's a lot of stats here. I won't dive into every single one, but I wanted to highlight a few in particular. So looking at this first section, we dive into all of the washes that take place at your car wash. We try and identify them as either free washes, retail washes, or membership redemptions. And if you look at this pie chart here on the right, you'll notice that almost 70% of all the washes at this particular car wash are membership redemptions. And this is a stat that we see pretty consistently across a lot of the car washes that we work with. But I want to take a second and dive into this next section, which is our unique customers. And if you look at the pie chart once again, you'll notice that almost 80% of our unique customers or unique vehicles are retail. So I think there's a huge opportunity here to focus on these people, to either convert them to members or to simply ensure that they're having a great experience at your wash and they're coming again and again more frequently. So we have more stats down here. We have a section on retail wash spending and how that trends over time. We have some info on volume and frequency. So we have, for example, percent of your retail washers that come multiple times a month, or percent that are coming for the very first time to your wash. But the second thing that I wanted to highlight on this dashboard was this section on contact info. So the most actionable thing that I think you can do with this dashboard is to be able to identify your retail washers, to look at their behavior, to be able to segment them based off their behavior, and then to reach out to them with targeted offers that we think will be interesting to them. So this section of the dashboard focuses on how much contact info you've been able to collect, and then also the percent of our retail washers that we're able to contact if we chose to do so based off of these efforts. So what I wanted to have you take away from this demo was that there's a huge opportunity here with retail, and we think that Rinse can really help with this dashboard and with some of the other tools that we have as well.
Thank you, Catherine. It's been amazing to see how powerful Rinse real-time analytics have been for the membership side of the business. And we've seen a lot of groups get very excited for this new real-time data that we're providing for now the retail side. We're now going to jump back to Sammy, who will walk us through our audience building functionality, which really comes into play with our marketing capabilities.
Yes. So, within Rinsed, we have a ton of capabilities with our audience builder, and that's how we can reach out to customers. So we can send scheduled messages, we can send a drip campaign of messages, and we can target both members and non-members. So for example, I'm just going to go into marketing and select audiences. And we're going to go to actions, new audience. I can name the audience for this example. I'm just going to name it retail, but you can name it whatever you'd like. And then we have a ton of filters here. So if I click on property, you can see we have a ton of member filters and we have retail filters. So let's say I want to target people based on when their last retail wash was. So I can say their last retail wash. I can use the time constraint. So is exactly or before or after. And then however many days I want to set this for, and we'll actually tell you the date that you're targeting at the bottom here. I can then add another filter if I want to say, okay, how many times has this person come in? So retail wash count is exactly, and let's say I want to say 2 washes in total. So this person came in exactly 7 days ago and has had 2 washes in total. And then we can also use our member filters. So if we come down here and we say membership status is former members. So now we have a really specific target here. This is looking at anybody who is a former member, whose last retail wash was exactly 7 days ago, and they have come twice in total. So this is really awesome because it's extremely flexible. We can, change these around. We can make a whole drip campaign saying, okay, you came in 7 days ago, then sending another message at 14 days, another message at 21 days, and so on. And we can say something like, oh, we see you've come in, 2 times in the past month. If you went unlimited, you would save money at this point. And we're really able to customize and get creative with this. So there's a lot of flexibility here, and definitely can dive deeper into this with your customer success manager to make sure you're utilizing this in the best way possible. But just a reminder that you need to get those phone numbers so that we can, reach out to these people and contact them.
Thank you, Sammy. Our ability to segment audiences has been so powerful for our members side of the business. And we're thrilled to now offer these for the retail side. All right, we are going to wrap up the majority of this call with Austin walking us through our loyalty program. And we have an example to show everyone.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Sam. So really building on what Sammy showed, we're thinking about how can we create sort of set it and forget it campaigns to make sure that if somebody isn't going to be a member, how do we at least have them when they're going to get their next wash, they choose your wash again. So we know that membership is this great moat against competition, but the retail customer still tends to be quite promiscuous, and there's sort of nothing keeping them other than price to your wash. So here I've set up a campaign. I've just called this retail loyalty, and you can see there's 5 messages here, and this is basically your standard loyalty program where every 4 washes we're gonna message them and give them the 5th wash free. And this can be set up once and then just run indefinitely to try to maintain that section that's never going to be quite a member, but you still want to be coming back more often. So just to show you what this looks like and how easy it is to set up. So here's a message, every second wash of 4 that the customer is going to receive, letting them know that they're 2 washes away from that free wash. And if we look at the audience, it explains exactly that. So the retail wash count is 2 of 4. So you'll see this will happen after 2 washes, after 6, after 10, et cetera, and that they recently just washed. So the customer will get this message just once, and then after that 4th wash, we've set it up so that we'll send them a message to try to get them 1, give them that free wash, and then 2, immediately follow up with them after that free wash is redeemed to see if they do want to become a member. So that's what this is looking at here is once they've had their 4th wash and they've redeemed that voucher we sent them, we're going to immediately see, we've seen this person 5 times, maybe they would be a good candidate for membership, but if not, they can go right back into this loyalty funnel. So we think this is going to be a big improvement on once you've collected that phone number, where we're typically just giving the free wash once. Now you have to earn that next free wash. But can we tell the person along their journey, just how close they are, and make sure when they're going to get their car washed, they think of your location.
Thank you, Austin. Okay, we are now wrapping up with the walkthrough portion of our call. And we've had a number of questions come in through the Q&A chat. Thank you to Henry for answering some of these. We have a few open questions. I will go ahead and read a question, and if we have a member of our team who can jump in to answer that, that would be great. So first question here comes from The question is, how do you manage double opt-in requirements with text?
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I can take that. So one way that we see folks do this is they'll send the initial message to somebody. So say they've filled out the note on the XBT, they send that initial message, and in that, there's a link to a rinsed contact form, and that's where we include the full terms of service. So depending on your hardware and the state you're operating in, you may not feel comfortable with somebody just clicking on at the wash. So that gives you that sort of additional layer where you can have all the terms of service and make sure that you and the consumer are protected.
Perfect. Thank you, Austin. What limitations are there for Washify users?
Yeah, so I can take this one. So Washify today it does not have a transactional API. What that means is they don't have the ability for us to write back into their system. We can only read the data from Washify. So we're able to pull the data and understand what information is coming from your Washify system, but we're not able to write back into Washify's system today. That being said, Washify is working on building a transactional API and hope to have that live in the coming months. So once that is live, we'll be able to then integrate directly with Washify and write into their system similar to how we can with DRB, ICS, and Sunnies.
Perfect. Thank you, Henry. Can you explain how ICS collects retail phone numbers? We have ICS, but not LPR.
Yeah, for ICS, currently it's limited to license plate because we don't have a way to collect the retail phone number on the hardware. We have to separately make the connection between the license plate and the phone number and then tie that to the transaction history. So we're a little limited to that today, but we do have a partnership with ICS, and that is something that we're discussing with them.
Thank you, Austin. Kind of a follow-up to this, with this campaign builder, you couldn't identify former members without LPR, correct?
Well, so it depends a little bit on which point of sale we're talking about, but we look at both the license plate and the payment method used. So for DRB, for example, even if you're not LPR, we can typically identify if somebody used to be a member and then they're going in and transacting on a retail wash with the same credit card. And Catherine, keep me honest there. I think that's the case.
That is the case, yes.
Thank you. And I apologize, we have some questions coming in. We may not get to all these questions, but I'm doing my best here. How much would rinse cost for a single site operator? I can take this question. Rinse's base price today starts at $699 per month. The concern in this question is, I'm very interested, but I fear that it's set up for larger organizations. We are working with car wash groups of all different sizes. We have single location operators signing up almost every day for the Rinse platform. If you would like to learn more about what Rinse can do for a 1 or 2 location group, we do have an opportunity to schedule a demo on our website, rinse.com. Do the retail analytics provide a wash breakdown? If so, can we also target specific wash users for re-engagement?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have a breakdown of the washes by price on the retail side. We don't have it filterable in the same way we do by membership yet, but that's something that's on the roadmap. So you could offer people who bought a particular package, send them a particular message.
Perfect. Next question. How often is the customer's information uploaded to DRB? How quickly, let's see here, how quickly will a customer receive their free wash?
Yeah, so I'll take the second part first. They'll receive their free wash as soon as we sync to the DRB system, and that can be as frequently as every hour. And then we're writing back to the DRB constantly throughout the day. So once that's updated, you'd expect that to be written back into DRB again within an hour or two.
Thank you, Austin. Next question here. Your case study saw a conversion rate of 10% for retail customers that gave their phone number in exchange for their next wash. Have you seen a change in the average conversion rate across different point of sales?
So I think too soon to know on that one. But that 10% was compared to 2% conversion of the folks who we had no way to contact, and we were just sitting and waiting for them to come back into the wash. So I wouldn't expect there to be big changes in conversion rate there depending on point of sale, other than the fact that with some of the point of sales without the transactional API, we couldn't be making it as easy for them to sell online.
Perfect, thank you. All right, we've just got a few more coming in here. Do you have any tool to collect more information in addition to the phone number?
Yeah, so that would be the these follow-up with contact forms. So often what we see is people want to know, they want to have a chance to get email, maybe they want car make and model, but they know that's going to really slow them down in the driveway, and speed is everything on a busy Saturday. So they want to collect that phone number. We'll send that person a text with a contact form to collect additional information. And that's where you could have those other fields that you might want to know about your customer.
Great, thank you. This is a point of sale related question. Are you able to see if a voucher code has been redeemed in Sunny's to use in creating audiences?
Not Sunny's currently. Most of the other point of sales, yes. And I know Reggie and team are working on exposing that to the API as well.
Perfect. Okay, we've gone through the majority of questions here. If you did send a question in and we did not answer the question, we will be sure to follow up within the next hour or so after this call if we can. But unless there's any other kind of final questions, we can go ahead and wrap up here and end a few minutes early. But I want to thank everyone for coming to this webinar. It's been a long time coming. If you are a Rinsed customer and would like to learn more about retail functionality, please feel free to reach out to your CSM. If you are not using Rinsed and would like to learn more, please feel free to request a demo on our website, rinsed.com. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. And in case we don't see you, enjoy the holidays. Take care, everyone.
Thanks.